Hi, Washington teachers. It's Joanna Barnes. Happy summer to all of you. I know some of you may be finishing up your school year still, but I'm calling it summer. So I'm here today to show you some of the real basics of how to get started creating a classroom on Google Classroom. If you have one from last year, we'll talk later in another post about how to archive that class. But in the meantime, if you've never started a Google Classroom, this is where you begin. And if you're starting to think about next year, this is where you can play around a little bit without affecting your classroom that you made last year. I know that my students are going to be using some of the content over the summer, so I don't want to mess with that classroom too much. So I'm going to create a new one today with you all. So first you need to go to classroom.google.com. This is where I am right now, and this is my existing class that I have. So to start a class, you're going to go to the plus sign once you're signed in with your Google account, and you're going to click Create Class. This is a really important step for students when they're joining your class. Go to the plus sign, click Join Class, and enter the class code. But right now I'm creating a class, and I'm going to make a class name, and I'm going to call it Mrs. Barnes Demo for this purpose. And I'm going to click Create. Voila. So now I have my classroom created. That was pretty fast. And I also have highlighted for me when I first create my class, the classroom code. So you can change this class code to anything you like if it's something that's simpler for students. I just left mine the same because they only need to enter it once, and then they never have to enter it again once they're accepted into the classroom. That's up to you. I can show you on a different day how to change your class code. So got it. This is our welcome banner here. You can select any kind of theme you want, or you can upload your own picture. I like to upload photos of the actual classroom walls or of student work. And we've got now some of the basic elements of your classroom now that you're in and you are ready to play around. There's really no harm in starting your classroom, even if it's just a demo, because you can erase it later if you want, and you haven't invited any students and you don't need to in order to get started with playing with the different elements of the classroom. So we've got a stream, and this is sort of like a Facebook feed where you're going to see everything that's happening in your classroom in chronological time. I find this sort of jumbled for my orderly brain. So although it's organized by the most recent activity on top, otherwise it's not very organized. So usually I spend most of my time here on the classwork tab. This is where we're going to create assignments for students or materials for them to view, where we're going to put videos, Google slideshows, things like that. We've got people, and this is the place where you're going to add your students. So when you're ready, which is not yet, this is where you'll do the plus sign with the person, invite students, and send the emails. There will also be a step where you add the guardians if you want to have parents be able to be emailed easily through Google Classroom. And the last tab is grades. So normally this will look like a big table with all of your students on one column on the side, like a traditional grade book, and all the assignments on the top row that you have created for the students in your class. So that's sort of the big picture of what Google Classroom looks like. Classroom.google.com. When you're logged into your G Suite or your Gmail account, plus sign, create a class. And then you can start really fiddling around and seeing in the classwork tab what's possible. So that's all for today. I'm just giving you a big overview. If you've not started a Google Classroom before and you're going to be following along with our content, you're going to want to have an account of your own, a Google Classroom established, so that you can experiment as we go. I did want to show one thing that maybe you might not know you can do. We took a poll on Facebook, and a lot of you responded that you know the basics of Google Classroom, but you want to go deeper. So I'm going to show you two features that I think might be new to you. So I'm going to create an assignment here. So under classwork, I'm going to do the plus sign again for create, and I'm going to create an assignment. So here is assignment number 1. And you can put instructions. Mine is just going to be complete the assignment. All right. And so here's where you can add Google slideshows, videos, Google Docs. There are many different things that can qualify as an assignment, but the thing I want to show you here is that you don't have to assign it to all children. So if you have a general ed class like I do, or even if you have a special ed class with kids who have really different needs, you may want to give them differentiated assignments within Google Classroom. And that's actually really easy to do. You go up here on the right-hand side and we have, it's for Mrs. Barnes' class. That's what we're in, the demo. And you just do the drop down to all students. And once you have your students logged in, you're going to see all of their names. And it's an easy click if you want them to get the assignment and unclick if you don't want them to receive the assignment. So that's one thing you might not know Google Classroom can do. You can differentiate who receives the assignment. And the second one is that you can schedule an assignment to post at a different time. So here's the blue assign button. When I'm all finished, I've selected a due date or not, selected a topic or not, changed the points. Instead of clicking assign, which would post it right away and send an email update to my students, I do the drop down and I can schedule this assignment to be posted for any time that I like. So usually if you have a work time that is outside of the work week, or you want to get things ready for the coming unit, you can post this on Google Classroom. It will be saved. It will only be visible by you. And then it will be scheduled to post at the assigned time. So those are my 2 tricks for today. If you have more questions about the basics of Google Classroom, please put them either on our Facebook page or email us at our help desk email. Let us know how we can be supportive of you and what kind of content we can create that would help push you forward in your use of this learning platform. I hope you guys are having a good start to your summer, and I will see all of you soon.